one way to think about a stimulus package or to measure its effectiveness is whether it meets the criteria of being timely, targeted, and temporary. And I think timely, probably we would say this has been fairly successful, given that the incoming Obama administration said they wanted to get a package put together fairly quickly. They have done that, put that into place. There are inevitably lags in getting the money actually spent or for people to feel tax break benefits. But given the constraints any government would face, I think this package probably would rate fairly highly on that criterion of timeliness. As far as targeted, it certainly does have a lot of areas that are being targeted. I guess there the problem with the flip side of being targeted is that it spreads the money more thinly if you have lots of targets. And this bill definitely has many specific areas that will be affected, and so the impact on any specific area is smaller because there are so many different targets we're trying to hit. But it does have it would have to score highly, I think, also on being targeted to particular areas. There's huge debate among economists about which are the most sort of high-value targets, which ones would have the most stimulative effect. And we may know more in a year whether these have had, whether the package has picked out the most potentially effective targets. So I'm going to say we have to reserve judgment on that. As for temporary, the idea is that the spending should only be in place for a short period of time, shouldn't increase spending permanently, create new programs that will require ongoing funding, if in fact it's a response to a very short-term problem. The issue is that any long-term funding commitment or long-term spending commitment requires funding and is often very difficult to roll back, even if the original need for the program is not as great as it was at one time. On this score, I think it's probably more of a mixed bag, that there are some programs that are likely to be very short-term and will very naturally fall off. On the other hand, there are things that are more long-term. And this is not necessarily a bad thing. One of the things that the Obama administration did say in advance was that they would like to see some of the spending go toward investment, things like infrastructure investment that will have long-term costs associated with them, for example, maintenance on bridges, but also should have very long-term effects, and that was very much part of the plan of the Obama administration. So I think it is overall fair to say that the stimulus package was put together under these criteria and has done at least a fairly good job of trying to meet each of those.